Hey. Y'all, I'm going to show y'all the process of creating shirts. But this time, I did not cut them with the Cricut. What I did was I used Jiffy Shirts, ordered my shirts, and my DTF prints. So if you don't understand the difference between DTF and using regular iron-on vinyl, I'll break it down now. So this is a roll. It comes on a film, whatever image or words or graphics you would like to use on your shirt. You upload that image to a gang sheet, which is basically the film that you use to transfer to the shirt. And it's a one press. So any colors that you want will be included. You don't have to worry about any weeding. Weeding is when you have to peel off that excess vinyl that you don't need for a shirt design. This is going to save you a lot of time. So for me, it was worth the money to do the DTF transfers from off of Jiffy Shirts because it's going to save me time. I've got about 32 shirts to do, and I'm going to get them all done today. So I will show you guys what this is. A smaller gang sheet because I had to order more, and it comes like this, and it is for family reunion. So I have one for a larger shirt and one for a youth size shirt. So as you can see, there's no weeding required. My exact design is on this gang sheet. I'm going to cut out exactly what I need for my shirt. It is going to be a simple press. I'm going to put it with design facing up, which is different from using iron-on vinyl because we have to mirror it. With this, you don't have to mirror it. There's a special coating on the back here that's going to adhere to the shirt, which is going to require you to do one press. Press, and you wait for it to cool off. You remove the film, and your design is there. And we're going to go through that process. So I also ordered shirts from Jiffy Shirts. Y'all, I've not always had the best of luck with Jiffy Shirts. I've had one instance of not receiving my package when it said it was received, but it wasn't there. They did refund me my money, so thank you Jiffy Shirts for that. I've had them to do a great job with telling me that it's going to be here the next day if you order within a certain time, and it comes. I've also experienced some things are uncontrollable, and I understand that, but say I'm going to get it tomorrow and it's 3 days later, especially if you run to right before the weekend. But we ordered different color shirts. These are just the 2 extra ones that I had to order, which is in electric green, and they are cotton shirts. Okay, so I'll be right back, and we are going to go through the process on how to actually make the shirts with the DTF transfers. All right, so we're headed to my work area where my heat press is. So I've gathered my graphic that I need for the shirts, and so as I showed you, the gang sheet comes in a roll, but you can also have them to pre-cut your image. So where it was on the whole roll before, I've cut them into smaller images so that all I have to do is stick it down and press to make it a little bit easier for me. I don't have to worry about going back and cutting anymore. But for a few extra cents per couple of inches, Jiffy Shirts will cut it for you to save you even more time. So I love the convenience of Jiffy Shirts and the things that they offer. They offer so much more than what I'm talking about right now. So if you're into creating things, or you want to get into creating things, Jiffy Shirts should be your go-to. All right, so another thing to add is that the game sheets do not come with instructions. So I did Google and find on their website, they do have instructions on their website. doesn't come with your package, but it's on your website. So we are going to be using the heat press at 320 degrees for 15 seconds, okay? And let me get my phone placed right so you guys can try to see the whole process. Okay. So here I have another box of shirts I'm going to bust open. All right. So got about 30 shirts in here, ranging from youth, extra small, 2T. I'm sorry, 2T is the smallest. We've got Carolina blue, this really pretty pink, this gray, and I showed you guys the electric green, and we have orange. So this should make it a little bit easier knowing that everybody's getting the same print. And before we get started, I'll tell you some things that you want to have on hand before you start pressing. I would say to make sure that you have lint roller. Doesn't matter what kind, but you're gonna need a lint roller. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off this last sheet. It's not really much on there, but starting fresh. One thing that I did read within the instructions is if you want a matte finish, you should use parchment paper to cover the design when you press. If you want a glossy look, you want to use a Teflon sheet, okay? Pretty sure you can find these in any craft store. Parchment paper you can find anywhere, Walmart, dollar store, any store where in your cooking section where the aluminum foils would be. The same thing as wax paper. That's what a parchment paper is. All right, so I am going to start with the grays. This one is a gray large. I'm gonna lay her up here. Lint roll. Make sure you don't have any particles on there. Alright, and what I do is I like to center the tag with the center of the heat press. Bring this a little closer. I like to center the tag with the center of the heat press. That way I know I have a direct middle placement. And I'm going to use the 4-finger rule. So from the neckline, 4 fingers down, this is where I'm going to start the design. Here's our design. We're going to put it with the image facing up, like I explained before, with using the iron-on vinyl that we cut using the Cricut. We mirror, so we put the image facing downward. But with DTF, we are going to do image upward. I'll make sure I got that straight. I do not want it to come out crooked. And I'm doing my shirt first just so that I can see how this goes, because this is my first time using this as well. And I'm almost thinking that I'm gonna want to use heat tape because this was folded and it wants to roll up and I don't want it to lose its placement. But before I do that, I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna try putting a Teflon sheet. There we go, that works. Put a Teflon sheet over top and it will lay it right down. I'm gonna pull it around. I am going to press 15 seconds. All right, it's been 15 seconds. I'm gonna lift this up. It does say to let it cool off. Now what I'm gonna do one more press because I do not have the whole image covered by the press. So I'm gonna move it up to make sure I got the whole thing covered. One more press. Okay. 15 seconds. Every now and again, my Teflon sheet likes to stick to the actual press. See, this is why I'm glad I did my shirt first, because look what I did. There was something on this Teflon sheet, don't know what it is, but now it's on my shirt. So I need to make sure I get a new Teflon sheet, for one. Probably wash this and it come off. It probably looks like someone's scratching off, whatever it is. Probably something my kid had in here. These are things to keep in mind when you are doing orders. Always leave room for error because you do not know. You do not know what is going to happen. So this is cooling off. It's not all the way cool just yet. I need to get me one of those cooling blocks. So we can speed the process. They have this thing called a cooling block where you just take it and kind of rub it over your design and it'll cool it off. Let's see what kind of traction we've got here. Okay, we're good to go. All right, I like it. Oh yes, oh yes. Sign me up for DTF because that there, that's it. Let me find, I have a whole roll of Teflon sheets. I'm gonna get a fresh one. All right, I'm gonna do one more press for about 5 seconds because that's what was suggested. And we are done. Now besides this thing that went on my shirt, this is what we got. Real simple, real quick. And I'm gonna be able to bust these shirts down in no time. All right, I'm wrapping up the last 2 shirts. I have switched up my process a little bit. So what I have been doing is pressing for 5 seconds, remove the moisture, apply my design, still using the 4-finger rule. The shirts do have like a middle crease, so it makes it a little bit easier to see where I need to place my design to center it. Place my Teflon sheet down to make sure that my image does not move. Swoop around, and we're gonna press for 15 seconds. After the 15 seconds, I'm no longer letting it cool on the heat press because it takes a whole lot longer. Your garment will cool a whole lot faster if you remove it off of the heat press. As you think, I'm pressing 30 shirts, so that means that the bottom plate is going to remain heated and it's going to take a longer time for it to cool off. So I'm removing it, setting it to the side, and letting it cool off in a pile of shirts that I had off to the side. And I will come back to it after I press this last shirt. But 2 minutes per shirt, not too bad. So this one's been sitting for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and move it off of here. And I'm gonna press for 5 seconds. And that's it. I'm gonna do the rest of these. It lifts it, it doesn't give a shirt, again, when it cool off, try it. So I set it to the side, put it here, really this time. So like I said, it cool off. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. DTF, girl,